bending. I am trying to work. Let's jump right in. This is Simpson Planning, and I wanted to give you an overview of how I plan my month as well as my weeks, bouncing back all the way to a quarter view and the year view. Today I also wanted to share with you my favorite pens and my current favorite paper for DIY print digital paper planners. Okay, let's jump right in. First we have, let's move these off to the side here. Okay, now first we have the Sharpie S Gel, and these come in lots of colors, and the band on them gives you a good idea of what the ink color is. This is kind of an emerald green, which is fun. It looks black. It's actually kind of green. Okay, so then there's this blue. It's a metallic blue. That's a good one. Love that. This one is pink. It's actually more of a magenta. And then here, this one is kind of a slate steel color. Steel, gray. Gray. Okay. The second thing I wanted to show you were my color dot pens. Have you ever had these? I love these. They come in pink, blue, gray, kind of a chartreuse yellow, green, and I want to show you the orange. So I like to use these in my planners because you can make just simple dots. You can make big dots, tiny dots, and underline also, and highlight. So I like to use these dots as check boxes. The other thing I wanted to show you is how great the paper is for the planners that I make, because only the orange highlighter really went through. Wow, that really went through quite a bit though, didn't it? Yep. Okay, the other pens I really like are the Staedtler Tri Plus Fine Liner. And this comes in a multi-pack. I think I got the 12-pack, and it has all the basic colors. Oh, it looks like I haven't used that one, the yellow, for a while. So the yellow is, there you go. And it did not bleed through. There's a tiny spot. It did bleed through right there. Okay, so let me show you the pink. I love writing with them. They're so smooth. And that did not go through. We have the red. Did not bleed through. You can see it through, but it didn't bleed through. And we have green. And apparently I love this one a lot because the tip is nubbed down just a little bit. So anyway, look how fun that is. I love that. Okay, so let's jump right in. While I'm recording this, it happens to be the second week of June. And I want to show you my planning method is starting off with, this is the whole year right here, 26. We have 4 quarters, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and I blocked off those just so they're not distracting. So the second quarter is April, May, and June. And if you notice, I blued in these boxes here. That's because there's actually only 4 full weeks in June and May. So I did that so that I wouldn't think that I had more time to plan out my projects. So for the month of June, my plans are releasing my new academic products. Those are July through June. I have paper planners. I also have big wall calendars. And the colors coordinate with each other. I had a trip planned. I have demos planned for my academic products, and I also have plans to paint my master bedroom. We're in the process of renovating our house, and so that is the next plan for the month of June, is to have that done. And it needs a ceiling paint, it needs the floor redone, and it needs the walls done. It's a big job. Anyway, this is how I came about figuring out my quarter weeks. I look at the whole month of June. I know this is really tiny. But here in June, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 full weeks in June, and then there's 2 days left over. Well, I just rolled those over to become my major week in July. So in July, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually count 5 weeks in July because my dates go past Wednesday, past the middle of the week. So I count July as having 5 weeks. And June only has 4 weeks. That way I don't tend to overplan, and every month doesn't have the same number of weeks, but we do have 52 weeks in every year. So that's how I think about that. Third quarter planning. In June, probably the second, third week of June, I'm going to start planning for my third quarter. Now, you can start out planning for your third quarter really at the beginning of the year, but I like to just do an overview with that. So here, we can list our accomplishments from either, you can choose your accomplishments from last month, or you can choose the accomplishments that you're happening in this quarter as they happen. Focus time. So this right here is just a pie. How much time am I going to spend with family, friends, work, self-care, self-development, organizing, creativity? Now, it's not, you don't have to do all of these, and you don't have to do any of these. You can come up with your own. Maybe it is going to school. Maybe it's starting a new business. But this is how much time you want to devote in a graph or a pie picture, how much time you want to spend on that. And here's the place where you can write some notes. In July, like I said, there's 5 weeks in July. August has 4. September has 5. So what that helps me remember is weekends are often times when we get more accomplished. So there's that. And I came up with this. If you like this goal pack that I've created, you can buy this in my store. You can download it. It's right here. It's at simpsonplanning.com. And go to my store, and it's in there. You can download it and print it yourself. I choose to print on 32-pound premium bright white paper. The brand I've been using recently is HP. It's consistent. It goes through my printer. I actually use the HP printer subscription, and I absolutely love it because it gives me a limited number of pages I can print per month. I currently have a subscription that's 300, and I have an overflow of 900 pages. So I have 1,200 pages I could print, and they could all be full color if I wanted, or they can just be simple gray. But I like it because I'm not always worried or being stingy with the ink printing. I like the freedom to print things that are pretty, and I also like to print things practical and simple in a gray effect like this. Okay, so next I want to show you, okay, so in your priorities and intentions, what are the things you need to focus on? So last month for myself, I had a group that I was involved in that I noticed that it was no longer the best fit for me. I had some other goals in mind, and it wasn't really aligning with them. And the people in that group were kind of going in a different direction. It was kind of a business brainstorming group. Anyway, I decided to leave it because after each meeting, I felt defeated. I felt drained of energy instead of feeling energized and focused. So I decided to let go of that group. And what happened was amazing is there was another group that landed, it seemed like it just landed in my path. And I think that that is going to be a really good space for me to find inspiration and more people that I'm aligned with as far as my business goes. So I want to spend my time on things that are profitable and worth my time. Okay, so I chose to have 3 goals this month. You can choose all 3 if they're small. like something that you can get accomplished in a little over a week to 10 days. You could have 3 goals. Or if they're small goals and you're working on them in small amounts of time every single day. Okay, so kind of think about your day. Think about your week. Think about the whole quarter and how you want to accomplish those. Maybe you want to accomplish goal 1 in month 1, in month 2, and month 3, or maybe you're going to work on all 3 of those a little bit at a time. This is where you can flush that out. In July, this is where your action steps for your goals. This is where you're going to list them. Also, it's a good idea to keep in mind how many hours are you going to work each day on these things. If you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're starting a business, if you're a young adult and you're branching out and you're trying to get away from your parents' home and get out on your own, how much time are you going to spend to work on whatever these goals are that you're thinking about? And then you can process it more. How many hours each week? How many hours you're going to work each month? That's important. Because it's really easy to check these off and be wild and crazy and be like, yeah, I can do that, I can do that. And then at the end of the month, you realize, I really didn't work 150 hours. I actually only worked like 40, 41 hours. So maybe you're letting things get in your way by distracting and not having self-discipline. So if any of this seems overwhelming, don't let it be overwhelming to you, because this is just a one-step process. Pick one thing and work on that one thing. Small. I promise that is the best way to go. Okay, now you can also flush out your month with your to-do list. This is just a simple checkbox. In May, these were the tasks that I wanted to get done, and I didn't check them off, but I did actually get all of that done. And then in June, I wanted a rest week because I worked really hard in May, which that was actually last week. And I took an art class, or sometimes I don't take an art class. I just pull out paper and doodle or create something just to create it. It's not something to publish or to give away. It's just because I enjoy doing that. And I also needed some afternoon sun and pool time, which was great because it didn't rain that much last week. So these are the other things that I know that I'm going to be working on in the month of June. And if you like this goal pack, this is what the cover of it looks like in my store. And you can download this and print it yourself. I laminated the cover. I did not laminate the back. And I just used my hole punch, and you could use coils. You could use a 3-ring punch and put it in a little binder. I have these tools, so this is what I did. Anyway, all of this is included in the goal pack that you can purchase and download and print for yourself at home. It's great. I really like it. I've worked on it for many years, and I keep making improvements, and I'm really proud of myself for that and what I've done. So this is a unique planner that I made, and the goal pack especially is unique because I created these pages. I created the brain dumps, the graphics. There you go. Okay. Now it's time to, let me show you the cover for this planner. This planner is my cottage core or grandma core style planner. This is the cover and this is the back. And I laminated it. Now, if you purchase the digital product, you're going to get to laminate it yourself at home or have someone laminate it for you. I chose to do that for myself, and I currently don't have this in my store, but if you're interested in me making this for you, put something in the comments or reach out to me on my website and let me know that you're interested in that, okay? Okay, so this planner also has tabs that are a fail. I messed up making the tabs. They don't stick very well. Okay, let's see here. Looking for, all right, here's the month of June. Now, this planner is unique. I created it for my daughter. She is in business administration, and this is something that she wanted, was a calendar page that could be removable. I'm gonna rip it out. It's gonna mess some of you up, I know. We're gonna rip that out, and I wanted to show you what I did is the first half of the week is on this side, and the second half of the week is on this side. And I want to show you how this fits into the planner. Okay, this is the current week that we're in while I'm recording this. So what you can do is, in some of the other planners, I laminated just the edge with about 1.5 inches of laminate, and then I hole punched the page and snipped all of the holes with the little cut marks. But you don't have to do that. This will slide right back into the spiral. Now, yeah, it takes a little bit of time to poke it through, but it does stay. So that is one option. So this is how it works. So June 18th, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. This is June. And here's the 8th, 9th, and the 10th, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. See how I did that? So we can see the whole month at a glance for as far as Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays go. And then we can flip it over and we have the other side of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There you go. And it's just a pink, light pink floral with light gray dot lines. It's very soft, it's easy on the eyes, and I chose to make it really simple. So if you wanted, you could put your top 3 goals at the top, or you could just break it down as if this is your day, morning, middle of the afternoon, evening. You could break it up if you wanted. Visually, or you could just make these your tasks for this day. You could write your notes in there, and then there's also a big space here for extra notes there too. So I hope you like that. The other thing I was hoping that you can help me with is better tabs. Now, some of my planners come with tabs that you can make yourself. It's just the front and the back of a tab. But I laminated these and then I folded them and tried to stick them with sticky tape, and they're terrible. They pop out, they're too thick. I'm thinking maybe I should not have laminated them, but I'm open to some ideas. I'm sure you guys have better ideas, but I did want tabs for my planning table. This is where I do time inventory tracking. So if I feel like I'm stuck or over busy or bored and I'm under busy, I will do an inventory of my time and how I've spent it. And there's 2 sides, so you can do 2 different weeks. I also like the color theme of this planner because the pink is just so pretty, and I chose multiple different shades of pink. Some are sort of a light mauve or a light peachy pink. I just wanted to show you what I did here. And there are a lot of to-do pages. So you can go to your to-do pages and break them out however you want. If you want a whole month, if you just want to just write them all down and use it kind of scattered, you can do that too. Here's some dot grids. These are fun for making check boxes. If you have a picture of something that you need to draw out, or a project, or maybe you have a funnel, a business funnel, and you're trying to figure out where you're making money and what programs and what apps you're going to use to help funnel people. That's one idea. Lots of dot grid. Oh, look, we have more to do. More to-do list page. See, these are sticking because I did those tabs wrong. Here's another in the month planning pages. This is a different version. So this is just maybe you want to circle the dates that are important to you, or when you have a busy season, or maybe you want to make a note on things that you're looking forward to. Now this is for 2027. This is in all the planners that I have currently. I do the current year as well as the next year. And you could make your own boxes if you want. It's really quite a simple planner, but I tried to think of a lot of things that people miss or need. Now, here's another way that you can set up your month. Yeah, that's sticking again. Okay, so here is, I made this laminated sheet. This whole sheet, it's a pocket. I made a pocket. And I punched the holes in it. And I cut little lines, so they just snap right in. So if you wanted, you could put the month that is currently, let's say it's December, put that in the pocket. A little snug. Here's another idea I wanted to show you is with this pocket, laminated pocket that I made. I just trimmed down the dot grid sheet and I inserted it in there because I thought if you have something that you're working on, or maybe you have a beautiful quote or a poem, or you're trying to change your thinking, instead of maybe you grew up thinking negative things about yourself, you could write some positive things here and rewire your brain and make these. You could make a reminder that you are loved, you are valuable, you are important, you have skills, you have gifts, and putting this right in front of you every single week as you're working on your planner might be a really nice reminder of how far you've come. And see, I do things like that with myself, and I had to relearn some things about how I thought about myself, and I didn't even realize I was thinking so negatively about myself. And it's been quite a few years though since I had that revelation, but I still have to work on it. So sometimes I will add this to my planner. If it's a month or a season that might be extra challenging for me, I will write something in my planner, and sometimes I will even just write it down actually in my planner with my pen, always a favorite pen. And sometimes just writing something it's getting the brain and the hand connected in the paper. I don't know how that works. Somebody, you can explain it about the science, but all I know is writing out the things that I need to retrain my brain with. It gets better and easier when I do that. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful planning day, because this is Simpson Planning checking out with you, and I'm working on my new academic planners. So those are going to be July, this year is 2026, and they will go through June of 2027. So if you are looking for an academic planner, cool, come check me out. I'm going to have a limited inventory of some planners that I have decided I'm going to print and make. So it would look something like this, with the spiral, with the laminated cover, holes punched, a white spiral, and a laminated cover. If you're interested in that, jump on my store and send me a message. But I am planning on having a limited inventory of my academic planner. This is not the academic, this is just the annual year one. If you're interested, send me a message, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Bye. Okay, I finally got that calendar page in here. So we have notes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And this just snaps in. You could do this with coil. These, I like the spirals, but you could do the rings. If you have 3 rings, if you have 5 rings, it doesn't matter. You can do it with any product that you have to punch holes in it. And this just slips in and out for each month. And then when I'm done with this week, I can pop it in and put it in the next week. And it also, it can work as a tab if I put a tab on here, or maybe on the side. Oh, look, there's that sticky glue again. Is really getting there. There you go. Okay, so tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like. Maybe you have some suggestions on how you like to set up your planner. Thanks a lot. Hope you have a great day, and check out my website. That's where you can buy these products.